Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Carrie, and this is Carrie's Priceless WW Journey. I have my coffee, so I drink Premier Protein with my coffee in the mornings. That's my breakfast, so it's 2-point breakfast. I do this most every day. I'm not a huge breakfast eater in general. It used to be a meal that I skipped, and I recognize that that's not a good habit to have, skipping breakfast. So I'm having my coffee this morning, so we're gonna have coffee with Carrie. And I was tagged in a tag video by Danielle over at Danielle Nichole. Thank you, Danielle. She's so sweet to think of me. She's really been checking up on me during this time. I've really struggled. I've shared that with you all. It's been tough. It's just been tough, and everyone is having their own struggles, and have to manage those struggles themselves, figure out what's best for themselves. Everybody's different, and no judgment. Just, everyone handles things differently. And so, for me, it's just been really difficult just maintaining a routine and just feeling like my life has been disrupted. I have not seen my grandbabies since February, and, that's really, really hard. They're in an area of the state that has not been affected by this pandemic in the same way that our area where we live has been affected. And so while they feel, okay, because they haven't really seen an impact in as far as cases and things like that, my fear is that I could, unbeknownst to myself, possibly take it over there, and so I haven't gone, and it's just really hard. I couldn't live with myself if I didn't even know and I made them sick. Like, that's something I couldn't do. So anyway, I don't really know why I said all of that. I've talked for 5 minutes, and I really just got on here to have coffee with Carrie and to do Danielle's tag this morning. So let's get moving on to this tag. So a group of the YouTube community have been doing these Tuesday tags, and to be honest with you, I have not been watching my YouTube videos. I have had a really difficult time just focusing my attention. I don't really have like an ADD thing, but I feel like during this time I have. I just feel like I haven't been able to like anything keep my attention. I just kind of bounce around everywhere, and I'm doing my best to just stay focused in on my job and make sure that I'm not letting anything slide there. And so my YouTube friends have kind of just gone on the back burner, and I hate that because I love my YouTube community. But I've been trying to slowly just get back to watching, and I had got on my YouTube, and just literally at the top of my screen, I was just gonna start and kind of go watch a few videos, and literally at the very top of my screen was this Tuesday tag. And so I was like, oh, I'm gonna see what Danielle's had going on, watch this. And she had tagged me, and so that's super sweet. I had no idea that she had done that, and it was just total randomness that I even saw it. So thank you again, Danielle. That's just super sweet. And so Tracy at Trials of a Long Hair Girl has been putting out these questions on Tuesdays, I think pretty much for the entire time that we've been sheltering in place and staying at home. And so I'm excited to participate. The questions this week were random family questions. And so I'm going to be looking down because I have my iPad down here pulled up with the questions. But let me just get started here. So the first question is, how big is your immediate family? So my immediate family is myself and my husband, and we have 3 children. My oldest daughter, Brittany, who is in heaven. I'm going to put a link here at the top to my why, or my why I started my channel video. It talks about the loss of Brittany, and she would be 27 years old, but she passed away when she was 6.5. So she's my oldest. And then I have Hannah, who is about to turn 23. And Hannah was my uh-oh baby. She was an antibiotic baby. And she is also just a blessing to me. I cannot imagine my life without her. And so she is just about to finish up her bachelor's degree. She's done her last 2 years of college online. She got married coming up on 3 years ago. And so she's been finishing up her bachelor's degree online. And so the pandemic thing didn't really affect her schooling because she was already an online student. But it has affected that we will not watch her walk across the stage. And so, we're all coming to grips with that. I think the school's going to do some type of a virtual ceremony or virtual something for them. And so we kind of been waiting on that to happen. But super duper proud. She is the first member of our immediate family to receive a college degree like that. And so super exciting for me as a mom. I'm extremely proud. And then we have Amber, who Amber came to live with us when she was 15, and just filled a place in our home that was missing. And she knows what she means to me, to us. She is just super special to our family. And Amber is 25, and Amber also got married 3 years ago. My girls got married a week apart, 2 weeks apart. Now I can't remember. A week apart. 1 week Amber got married, and the next week Hannah got married. Yeah. That's a whole nother video. But Amber and her husband live several hours from us, and they have my grandbabies. And so we have Braden, who is going to be 2 in August, and then we just welcomed Beckham to the family in January. And so Amber and Brad have blessed me with these beautiful babies that I just love with all my heart, and I'm ready to get to see them and be able to snuggle them, touch them, and hug them and kiss them, and I hope soon. Hannah, I mentioned, also is married, and her husband is Kobe, and they just moved back here in August, September of last year. Prior to that, they were living in Texas for the year before that. That's where Kobe is from, and they had gone down there to go to school, and then came back up here, and Kobe is a personal trainer here in the area. So he's who keeps me in shape when I get to the gym, and I don't know if I'm ready to go back yet. So anywho, that's my immediate family. I feel like I am dragging this way on, sorry. So the second question is, do you have any siblings? And I do. I have a baby brother. So it's just me and my brother. I'm 2.5 years older than him. So yes, I do have a sibling. So share a childhood memory. So my favorite childhood memories are summers with my grandparents. I went to my dad's parents' house. When I was younger, they lived in Texas. They were originally from Louisiana, and after my grandfather retired, they moved back to Louisiana, because that was the agreement with my grandmother when he took her to Texas, was that when he retired, they would go back to Louisiana. So I spent my really younger years, spent them in Texas with my grandparents, and I would stay the entire summer. And those are just my favorite childhood memories. My grandmother, after dinner, loved to go for a drive. And when we were in Texas, we drove around looking for pheasants or roadrunners or I can't think of what they're called. They're like little chipmunks, but they're not chipmunks. What do you call those things? Anyway, we would drive around looking for animals, and that was just her favorite thing to do. And then come back, and I would get my bath, and then we would sit on their porch swing until it was time to go in and watch the news, and then it was bedtime. You made it to the weather. But those are my favorite times, and I have their porch swing, and there are times that I just go out front and sit and just think about them. I miss them a lot, so that's my favorite childhood memories. Name one favorite family recipe, and is it something that you cook often? So I've actually shared the one family recipe that we do cook often on here, and that's my grandmother's chicken enchilada casserole. We made that for my birthday weekend, so that's on a video here. I think it's like my birthday weekend vlog or something like that. My cousin and I made it. We've never made it as good as hers, ever, but we try, and it's something that we like to have for birthdays, and just when we're together as a family. It's something that it's definitely a comfort food. There is nothing healthy about it. It's a comfort food, and it's one of those foods that just makes us feel connected as a family, I think. It's something, she always made it when we were together, and so that's the one thing we make often. And then the other thing that I would say is a family recipe that we make is my grandmother's dumplings for Thanksgiving. And we've been trying for years and years and years to get them right. And, you know, back then they didn't write down a recipe. My grandmother didn't have a recipe for anything she made. It was a little of this and a little of that and a cup of this and a pinch of that. And so, you know, you try to find things and you're like, yeah, I think this recipe is close to what I remember her doing. And so it's funny, every year at Thanksgiving, my dad and I try to figure out how to make her dumplings, and some years they're better than other years, but it's just a fun thing that my dad and I like to try to do. So okay, what's your favorite family tradition? So I told Danielle, after I watched her video, we have one of the same family traditions, and that's opening up PJs for the family on Christmas Eve. Hannah actually got to the point that she was like, pajamas. I know someday she will appreciate what it was and what it has been. But I also think it's like, yay. But that's one of my favorite family traditions. I was trying to think of a different one. Oh, I've got a funny story related to family traditions. So Scott's mother makes a no-bake cheesecake that she has always made for any holiday. And along the way, Hannah became the maker of the no-bake cheesecake. And so anyway, before Hannah became the no-bake cheesecake baker, we had this cheesecake, and Grandma never put the topping on it because some people didn't, some people did want topping. And so she always just had a can of the like cherry pie filling or whatever to put on the top. And one year for something, I can't remember if it was Christmas or Thanksgiving, she couldn't find the cherry pie filling. And so she got strawberry filling or just cut up strawberries. I can't remember now exactly. My brain just isn't what it used to be. But Hannah nearly lost it and said, "But cherries is the tradition." And I don't even really think Hannah liked putting the cherries on hers, but it's the tradition. So anyway, that's just a funny little story. Does your family have a motto, spoken or unspoken? I can't think of a motto for our family. I would say unspoken is just that we don't take anything for granted. Every day is a gift, and every moment is precious, and you never know when your last is going to be. And so that's been one of the things I've really struggled with during this time is I want to do what I can to protect my family. Of course, that's the utmost of importance to me. But there's so many unknowns about everything that's going on that I'm really struggling with. How many things am I missing because of my concern of making sure that I keep my family safe? And, you know, that's something I'm going to have to just work through. But I would say, you know, not missing a moment. Every moment is precious, and just embracing those moments when we can be together as a family is just really important. And I would say that's probably my unspoken motto. Share something you did with a parent that you still enjoy doing today. Like something you did as a kid. I shared the story about my dad and I trying to figure out my grandma's dumplings. That's something I enjoy. We've been doing that for years and years and years. So maybe that. My mom and I have always worked like outside together. And so I still have times that I'll call and say, "You want to come help me weed my flower bed?" And I enjoy doing that with her. It's fun to have that time outside working together. So I would say those things. Share something unique about your family or family history. I don't really know of something unique about my family history. So when Hannah left for school and my nest became completely empty when she left for college as a freshman, I've always been really interested in genealogy and ancestry and that kind of thing. And so I really started doing some of the ancestry.com stuff when she left. I would just sit in the evenings and look up things and, you know, try to connect the dots and that kind of thing. And during that process, I found a story that someone had written and uploaded to an ancestry account, and it was related to, I think, my great-great-grandmother is what I think. not great, but great. And it could be great. But anyway, it was related to that. And it was a story about, they had a farm, and I can remember someone talking about this farm, but they lived on a farm, and apparently she was like a doctor type, you know, like a, oh, I don't know what they called them, but she would go and help people. And someone, she like lost a little boy who was like 2 or 3 years old, and when he died, she couldn't handle it. And there's this like story about her like wrapping him up in these like herbs, and I'm imagining this is like the late 1800s or something like that. Like this is, you know, a long time ago, but she like made this like herb like blankets or something that she like, basically the way I read it was like mummified him and like wouldn't let the family bury him. And she had been called away to help another family, like in a, you know, probably like a half a day trip or something, you know. And so she had gone away to help this other family. And when she was gone, her family buried the child. And when she came back, she was just beside herself. And was, you know, just really upset. And so this was a story that had been told down to somebody, and then they like typed it up and put it on Ancestry. And I remember thinking, oh wow, like I understand the grief of losing a child, but this was like just, you know, one of those things that you're like, oh my gosh, you know. So I mean, that's kind of a unique, odd thing, if it even, I don't know how true or not true it is, of course, but I can't really think of something specifically unique to like more my immediate family. Anyway, that's about it. I have, oh my gosh, 25 minutes. Y'all, I'm sorry. I hope y'all have enjoyed this. I'm gonna finish drinking my coffee. I am planning on getting out today. I'm gonna go see how crazy Sam's Club is. I don't know if I'll go in. Depends on what the parking lot looks like. But I thought I would try. So anyway, that's my plan for the day. I hope y'all have enjoyed this too long video. Sorry. But you know, it's fun to just share little things and get to know, for you all to get to know me a little better. And I hope y'all have enjoyed it. It was fun. Thank you, Danielle, again, over at Danielle Nichole, for thinking of me and tagging me. Like I said, I have not been watching my YouTube friends. I have no clue who has or who hasn't done this particular tag. If you're one of my YouTube friends watching and you have not done this random family question Tuesday tag, I'll list the questions in the description box below. Please jump on it, do the tag, share it, and let me know, hey Carrie, I'm jumping on the wagon. So I hope y'all have a great weekend, and give this video a thumbs up. Be sure and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all in my next video.